Hello students, so today we are going to start with the first chapter, number system, starting with the first exercise, that is exercise 1.1. The first question is 0 a rational number? So the answer is yes, it is a rational number because it can be written in the form of 0.1, 0.2 and so on. Any number which is of the form of p upon q is a rational number where q is not equal to 0. The second sum is to find the 6 rational numbers between 3 and 4. What we have to do, just make the denominator equals to 6 plus 1 equals to 7. So 3 equals to 3 into 7 upon 7, that is equal to 21 upon 7, and 4 equals to 4 into 7 upon 7, that is equal to 28 upon 7. So the 6 rational numbers between 3 and 4 are 22 upon 7, 23 upon 7, 24 upon 7, 25 upon 7, 26 upon 7, 27 upon 7. The third sum is to find 5 rational number between 3 upon 5 and 4 upon 5. Just take the numbers, first two number, and divide it by half. We get 7 upon 10, that is equal to x. Take this number and add the second number to it, we get 15 upon 10. The third answer is 15 upon 10 into 20, that is 15 upon 20. This is 3 upon 4. Now add 3 upon 4 and again 4 upon 5. This gives 31 upon 20. Divided by 2, that is 31 upon 40. And again add 4 upon 5. Do it 5 times and this gives us 5 rational number between 3 upon 4 and this gives us 5 rational number between 3 upon 5 and 4 upon 5. So the next sum is the collection of whole numbers contain all the natural numbers and in addition 0? True. Yes, the collection of whole numbers also contain the natural numbers and addition 0, because the whole number starts from 0 and ends up to infinity, which includes the natural number also. Now the second is the negative numbers are not whole numbers? False. Negative numbers are not whole numbers. Negative integers are only integer part but not whole numbers. Whole number includes 0 and all the positive integers except rational numbers. Next is numbers such as 2 upon 3, 3 upon 4, minus 3 upon 5, etc. are rational number, but they are not whole numbers. So the number which are in the form of numerator upon denominator are known as rational numbers, and they are not the whole numbers because whole number does not contains the fraction. Moving to the next exercise. First is, so we have true and false. First is true. All the irrational and rational numbers together make up the collection of real number. So the collection of all the irrational and rational numbers makes the real number R. Second is false. For example, between root 2 and root 3 there are infinitely many numbers and these cannot be represented in the form of root m, where m is natural numbers. So all the numbers which are not perfect square cannot be represented as natural number. Only those numbers which are perfect square can be represented as natural numbers. The third is false again, as all the rational numbers are also real numbers. So real number also contain the rational numbers. The second is square root of positive integers are not irrational. What it means that, for example, root 2 equal to 2, which is a rational number, and it doesn't mean that square root of all the positive integers are irrational. Some of them are rational also, like the perfect square numbers, they are rational, and those numbers which remain in root are represented as irrational numbers. Now to represent root 5 on the number line, we take a length of 2 units First of all, take 2 units. These 2 units can be 4 cm or 6 cm depending upon the number of units you are taking. You have to take at least the maximum length. So take 1 unit as 3 cm or 4 cm so as to clarify the concept. Now mark the point O from where it is taken as 2 cm or 2 units. Now from the point O on the number line in the positive direction and 1 unit perpendicular to it, draw a perpendicular on it of 1 unit. The hypotenuse of the triangle thus formed is of length √5. What we have to do, just take the arc, mark it over here and join these points. This will give us the value of √5 on the number line. From point O to this point, it gives us the length of √5 units. Next we have exercise 1.3. So the first sum is terminating. So there are basically 4 terms: terminating, non-terminating, reoccurring and non-reoccurring. Terminating means those numbers which are ended or which can be counted and have some end. Non-terminating are those numbers which are non-ending, for example number which is again repeating and repeating. Now there are 2 types of non-terminating number, that is reoccurring or non-reoccurring. Reoccurring numbers are, for example, in the case of 0.9999 up to so on, or 0.333 up to so on. So in this case the number is repeating again and again, so it is reoccurring number and non-terminating. While in the case of non-terminating, which is non-reoccurring, it can be 3.756549 or so on. You cannot repeat the number in that, but it is not ending number. Now the third is 4.125. It is terminating. The non-terminating and reoccurring number is represented by the bar. So 0.230769 is reoccurring and non-terminating number. Again the fifth is 0.18 bar is non-terminating number and reoccurring. The sixth is 0.8225, that is terminating number. Moving to the second sum, 2/7 is represented as, we have to represent it in the form of non-terminating and reoccurring number. Just split the number, that is 2 into 1/7. The value of 1/7 is given to us. Multiply it by 2. In this, multiply it by 3, 4, 5 and 6. This gives our answers. For the third part, we have x equal to 0.6 bar, which is equals to 0.666 up to so on. So it can be written in the form of P/Q. Now one digit is 6, which is repeating again and again. Multiply it by 10. Why we have to multiply it by 10? Because it is having the number with after one digit, one decimal place. So multiply it by 10. We get 10x equal to 6.6 bar. As we have taken 0.6 bar equal to x, so this is equal to 6 plus 0.6 bar, that is equal to 6 plus x. So 10x equal to 6 plus x. On putting the values, we get 10x equal to 10x minus x equal to 6. So 9x equal to 6. So x equal to 6/9, that is equal to 2/3. Moving to the second sum, here we have 2 places, but the number which is fixed, that is 0.47 bar. So 4 is that number which is not repeating. We have to multiply it by 10 again. We get 4.7 bar. This is equal to 4.3 plus 0.47 bar. This is taken as x. So 10x equal to 4.3 plus x. On solving, we get x equal to 4.3/9, that is equal to 43/90. The third sum is 0.001 bar. As we are having the number on bar and 3 digits before the decimal place, so we will multiply it by 1000. 1000x equal to 1.001 bar. It is split into two parts, so we get x equal to 1 upon 999. The next sum is x equal to 0.999 up to so on, so it is 0.9 bar. Again multiply it by 10. 10x equal to 9.9 bar, so 10x equal to 9 plus x, so 9x equal to 9, so x equal to 1. The maximum number of digits in repeating block is 16, which is less than 17. So division gives 1 upon 17. On dividing we get this number. So the repeating block has 16 units, because after 16 it is again repeating. So that is why we have put the sign of bar over here. Moving to the sixth sum. So 2 upon 5 equals to 0.4, 3 upon 2 equal to 1.5, 7 upon 8 equal to 0.875, 7 upon 10 equal to 0.7. So all the denominators are either 2 or its power and 5 or its power, or a combination of both. So here we can see that the number which is in the denominator is in the form of 2 or 5 or both. So they are terminating numbers. Moving to the seventh sum. We have written those numbers which are non-terminating and reoccurring. For example, 7.314114114. This is non-terminating but non-reoccurring number. Again we have 0.10, 100, 2000 and so on. So it is again non-terminating and non-reoccurring, and the value of pi is again non-terminating. The eighth sum is 5 upon 7 equal to 0.714285 and 9 upon 11 equal to 0.81. So there are infinitely many rational numbers between these numbers. Just take the numbers in between these numbers written by bar. So this is our answer. Thank you.